What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about the question, should I get a grappling dummy? Ever since this COVID things have been happening, I've been getting the questions everywhere I go, on Instagram DMs, on YouTube, should I get a grappling dummy and will it help my judo? And I always say, first question to respond to your question is, do you have the space? I think it's one of the most important things to consider because I know I'm guilty of buying gym equipment, not using it, taking up space in the house, and then eventually getting rid of it. Now, that's not to say that I don't have gym equipment that I use frequently on a day-to-day basis. Like I have my weights, I have a treadmill, and those things I use all the time, right? Especially since now my focus is on reducing my weight, because I ballooned up to like 230 in like April when I was sitting around eating and not working out as much. So yeah, first question, do you have the space? And second question, what sort of equipment do you already have, right, to really maximize your working out at home situation? My first go-to equipment, I think that everybody should have, is a middle of the range dumbbell. For me personally, that's the 50-pound dumbbell. It is sort of the perfect weight for me because I could attack my small muscle groups by cheating just a little bit. Like if I wanted to do curls, I could use my body, use my legs and sort of throw the weight up to attack my biceps, and I use both of those dumbbells and I could attack my legs, like if I did lunges or body weight squats with them. It's a significant addition to my body weight, right? 50 times 2 is 100 pounds, right? To load my legs. So it sort of is the perfect weight. So, maybe you're a little bit lighter than me, maybe you're not as experienced in the gym, go for the 40s, right? It's a nice middle of the range, and if you're a very experienced lifter and you're very, very strong and 50s really just don't do anything for you, go for the 60s, right? I think that is the first place to start off with. Now, if you already have the gym equipment and you have tons of space at home and you just want a feeling of throwing something and using your full body and using your hips, a grappling dummy would be a good idea, right? But like I said, do you have the space? That's first and foremost. Now let's just say, for instance, you already have dumbbells, you already have a grappling enough space to house a grappling dummy, and you're like, all right, I'm in, I want to get it, then yeah, sure, go for it. Do I think it is a good substitute for training with an actual human being? No, I don't. Right? Because it doesn't stand upright by itself, it just flops over, just the limbs don't work properly. It should be there as a supplement, right? If you can find a partner like a quarantine buddy, or if you have a brother or a sister that is good at judo also and you could do it safely in the home, I would rather you drill on that person in a safe environment, right? Maybe like on a Zoom judo situation, right? Because a lot of dangers lurking in the home, especially when you're doing a throwing takedown sport. You have to do it with the proper precautions. I'd rather do that to improve your overall judo. Another question I'm getting all the time about the grappling dummy and the training at home situation is like, what can I do to make my judo better during this time, right? I don't have a wife or a husband that does judo. Like I have nobody. Should I still get a grappling dummy? Is that the best way to improve my judo? And for me, I'm just going to go ahead and say the best thing to do for your judo or your grappling flat out during this time period is, number one, work on your body, right? If you have impingements and repetitive stress stuff that you've built up over the years through doing judo, right, you should rehab that now, right? Because judo, grappling creates a lot of asymmetries in your body. Your body becomes asymmetrical, you use one side more, you turn to one side more, and that sort of creates these imbalances that may potentially lead to back pain and knee pain and all this stuff. So for me, I've been working really on turning both directions equally. I've been trying to work on both legs equally being strong because I'm right-sided. I throw off my left leg a lot, so my left leg and my left hip have lots of issues, which leads to a lot of imbalances. I'm working on those things, right? Rehabbing your shoulders, getting strong on, pressing movements, sprinting movements. All that's first and foremost, I think. That should be a component of your training right now. And then the second component of your training should be working on the intellectual side, the academic side of judo, right? if you can use your mind and watch judo and do so in a very analytical way and understand it like in a way that you've never understood before, then when you get back to the dojo, you have the physical conditioning and then the newfound judo knowledge, and you can combine those two things together, and now you're better off than you've ever been, right? And I think that's the best way to approach training during this time period at home. Buying a grappling dummy and there's no space for it, and it collects dust, and you drag it out to your backyard and do 10 sets, and it just sits in the basement for the rest of the time, that's really not going to do you that much good, I think, in my personal opinion. But if you're capable of rehabbing, you're in tremendous shape, and you watch enough judo videos, and your judo game, your judo IQ is really high, and you're like, oh man, I just need to throw somebody, but no one else around you to throw, then I would finally invest in a grappling dummy. Yeah, just really watch instruction tapes. Judo Fanatics does a good series. I have a couple of DVDs out there you can watch. Not really DVDs, right? There's video on demand. There's a whole slew of them. You can find them in the link below. Go check that stuff out and improve your judo IQ and get physically fit first, right? It's a perfect time to do this. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope I sufficiently answered your question. Should I get a grappling dummy? The answer is, as most things in judo, it depends. And if you want to talk to me about it, sure. I've had this conversation probably 18 times on Instagram alone. So it's okay to reach out to me on Instagram, on DM. I may not be able to get back to everybody because I get a lot of messages, but yeah, just reach out. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, like, share, and subscribe this situation. And yeah, hope to talk to you soon. And have a good one.